sometimes we'd be hired as cultural escorts, and so we were taking a group of people out on these boat trips out to the Eastern Islands. We saw all these beautiful textiles, these antiques being sold. Then we ended up having textiles, so we had to sell these textiles. Threads of Life Gallery, what we've tried to do is display it as art. We're hoping that it's the resources and the amount of time and energy when you begin to see what goes into it, that they are what you want to hand on to your grandchildren. So I believe there was a market for that, and there has been. Threads of Life is able to sell all the textiles. All of our staff have been to the communities. They know the weavers, so they get real excited when they sell Etty's piece or they sell Lillis's piece. The weavers have been here. So there's this, like, they're family. They care about each other. By 2002, I think we already had the foundation. And the foundation's whole thing was to address the work with communities around the natural dye plants, the sustainable harvesting of them. So those sort of things, we had to look at both the impacts of not just telling them that they had to harvest it sustainably, but what was driving that? Why weren't they harvesting them sustainably? And how did we address those sort of things? So we did lots of workshops. We're in the dry season now in Timor. For almost 5 months, they don't get to use indigo because the indigo is all gone. So in communities where it's becoming more specialized, they can make money with making more textiles. If they had dye resources, they could keep working. So we brought some of this indigo paste over, introduced it to the community. They're just blown away. If this really works, it can put like another 20% of income into these communities. It's huge. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that. So we developed this database which has about 300 dye plants in it. It's kind of taking all that information over the last 15 years that's been collected. But furthermore, how can traditional folks whose that culture is, how they can get engaged in accessing it. And as I said, engage young people. Businesses that share the same values and understand that if you order not 100 textiles, but maybe 20 textiles, you're not going to get it right on time. We can't meet those kinds of deadlines because they may have a ceremony. Or there may be no rains that year and they have no dye plants. If we could find people who are like that, who want to do something really that tells a story, supports communities, supports environmental constraints, and you have something that is, very beautiful, and you can tell that story to your consumer group, it's really perfect matches. So we need a few more of those.